Hello everyone, I am Megazip and here are my 5 SnowRunner tips for 2022. Before I begin, I live stream on Twitch on Friday and Saturday nights starting at 9:30 Central Time. I'll have a link down in the description below, so if you want to come and hang out, say hi, I'll be there. And also, if you like this video and you want to help support my channel, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more SnowRunner content. All right, so tip number 1, put your truck in low when going up or down steep hills. Now, I know you're probably thinking, hey man, this is an obvious thing. Why wouldn't I do that? Well, let me just explain. You know, we get in a rush, we're trying to get to our destination. We don't think about these things. So just be consciously aware that by putting your truck in low, now don't get me wrong, you could do it in high, at least going uphill. I wouldn't recommend doing it going downhill, but the idea is when you're in auto mode, you don't have very good brake control. So you lose that fine control over how your truck handles. So by putting your truck in low, it'll allow you to utilize what would normally be your back button in auto as your brake. Now, if you have your button for your brake assigned to another key, then obviously you would be okay, but I would still recommend going into low, whether it's low, low plus, or low minus, for better control over how your truck handles. This will keep you from flipping your truck, and it'll also allow you to turn on differential lock if you need a little more extra help getting up steep inclines that might have some rocks, you know, some doing rock climbing or whatnot. Tip number 2, use your scout for scouting. Now, I know there are some of you who don't use scouts at all, but just kind of hear me out, because you can do this with other trucks if you want. But the idea is it's not just about finding the towers, right? The towers are obviously what helps open up the map. But there's also areas in a lot of those maps, even if they're opened by the tower, that won't tell you anything. You see what looks like a frame of a house, but you don't know that if you go by it, there's actually wood there that you can use for a mission or a task, if you will. There's structures like that for metal beams. There's structures like that for fuel. So it's best to try to scout the entire map before you really start doing any main tasks. You know, this also helps identify every blocked roadway. I can guarantee you, as you're going through there, you'll find a way to get around those blocked roadways if you really need to. There's a lot of like little side areas. Those are the areas that you need to explore, because that's where you're going to find these little outliers of areas where you can find resources. Because when you get into some of those higher maps, DLC maps, you're going to find that the warehouses don't have everything, and you're going to have to scout around to finish your tasks. Now, tip number 3 kind of follows in with tip number 2, and that is find all of your upgrades early. Now, as you're scouting through, if you see an upgrade, whether it's an upgrade shows up from your tower, or if you just happen to stumble across one, try to get it as quickly as possible before starting any main tasks. This gives you free upgrades to vehicles that you might already have in your fleet. And that could be very important, especially in the early game, where, you know, you only have like so many things to use. And so when you have that opportunity, you should take it. Now, tip number 4 also kind of follows in with the previous 2 tips, and that is fix all the blocked roadways. And you really should do all 3 of these tips in every map in your region. Now, the North American maps, Michigan, Alaska, the Yukon, and Wisconsin, you can do exactly all of that before even starting your main task. If you do that, not only will that help you, but you'll also find the trucks that are spread across those maps that you can add to your fleet. Now, you could just sell them, make the money, go buy another truck, whatever it is that you want to do with it. But by fixing your roadways, what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for success when you start your tasks. You might be 2 tasks in and already have to go to the other region for some kind of delivery. And so having these roads already clear means you don't have to do it later. All right, so the last tip number 5, take advantage of fuel trailers and repair trailers on the map. Now, this was a tip that you guys gave me while I was playing the hard mode version in Michigan. Now, the thing about these fuel trailers is there are some that are tied to tasks, and that's fine. You can still use them as long as you don't completely drain them. Same goes for the repair trailer. You can use most of the repair points on those trailers without, and still be able to turn it in for its credit. You just can't completely empty it. So keep that in mind that you can do that. Now, if you're playing on Michigan for the first time, and SnowRunner was on sale during the winter sale, if it's not still on sale, a lot of you are going to be trying to figure things out as you go. There are fuel trailers everywhere. If you scout around, you'll find them. In some cases, you can even move them into areas where you're going to be traveling the most. That way you always have a way to get gas, right? Now, you're playing hard mode. This comes really important because you got to pay for fuel. So you don't have to pay for it if it comes out of one of those trailers. Now, as you'll see, I'm kind of pointing out different areas on Michigan where there are trailers. So just sort of think about that as you're playing through. You take advantage of the scouting, you clear your roadways, you find your upgrades, you find your trucks, and as along the way, you know where to get fuel. And there you have it. Those are my 5 tips for SnowRunner for 2022. What do you guys think? Are there tips that you would also give to other players, especially new players who are playing the game of SnowRunner as they sort of get started? Go ahead and add that into the comments down below. And thank you all for coming out. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more SnowRunner content. And I'll see you in the next mud pit.